What is up, Sound Doctrine fam? We have the Luke McEvoy in the studio with us.
What's up?
So Luke has his own YouTube channel, Everyday Church Guitarist. And so we were wondering if you could talk about like maybe what prompted you to start the channel and maybe what you're hoping that people can get from your content.
Yeah, absolutely. So my channel was kind of started with the idea that there are a lot of these people already on YouTube, right? That make a ton of guitar content, church guitar content. It's great. I watch a lot of those guys. Like you've got worship tutorials, I don't know, a bunch of others, but yeah, it's great. But I am a church guitar player who runs on the budget of a normal dude.
Yep.
Just like an everyday average guy with too much student debt. And so I'm like, I work with what I can get a hold of.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of those musicians out there in the church that are like, they see all these people with, running a Line 6 Helix or running, these expensive boards. But it's like, I think there's a space open for people who just buy what is good for the music that they're trying to make, the church music, and also not super out in their price range. So that's kind of part of the vision of Everyday Church Guitarist, is being just that, an everyday church guitarist, just an everyday guy, plays on the weekends for Sunday services and maybe some midweek stuff, and uses the gear that you have, or that you can get a hold of without spending, a ton of money on it, because that's who I am. And I know there's a lot of those other church musicians out there too. But also, looking at kind of what it means to be on a worship team. Something I'm trying to touch on more on my channel as it grows is what it looks like to be a worship musician, and kind of hold yourself to a higher standard as a worship musician too. Not just show up there and play through a chord chart, but like actually invest time and energy into learning the songs that you're playing and being a part of your broader team too, not just not kind of just walking in there, playing your part and leaving, like being part of the worship team as a whole too.
Yeah. And it seems like you've been doing a good job with that. Like a lot of people have found your content. And I've like listened to your stuff and I've watched your stuff, and I'm still getting into the guitar world a little bit. And so your content's been really good for me to be like, to really think deeply about like, okay, like what do I have and how can I sound good with what I do have? So it's working. Like I feel like it's been really beneficial for me. You've gotten some traction,
little bit
with Hey Worship Leader, IK Multimedia, some bigger names, and you only have like a few videos out. So if you be willing to talk about maybe some of those experiences.
So where a lot of my, and I mean, I'm not by any means a big channel yet or anything. I've been going for about 3 months now, sitting at like, as of this morning, I think like 114 subscribers with probably 6,000 overall views on my channel if I had to guess right now. Which is like, I'm happy with where that's out so far. But a lot of that viewership has come from a video I made about a guitar pedal called the Tone X1, which is a very capable pedal that does some really cool stuff at a really awesome price point. And I think it's a great tool for worship guitarists. That being said, the software for that pedal,
or any IK
multimedia product, is terrible. It is unintuitive. It works, it functions, but it's unintuitive and it's just not designed very well. And so I made a video where I expressed my dislike of this software. And when I made this video, I really thought that I was not saying anything controversial. Like, this is an opinion that I had heard before too. And I was like, I know I'm not the only one thinking this. And my goodness. I posted that video, I think 2.5 months ago, maybe. That is still the video that brings the most viewership and most comments and most subscribers in. So it's crazy, because apparently some people think I just don't know how to use computers and I'm just nuts. But
when I would agree that the software is, especially with your whole channels being like, just an everyday person, like not somebody who's an engineer, right? Or like uses software a lot, like someone who just wants to kind of plug and play,
right?
And it's not that at all. It takes a lot of work.
Well, and like I'm a computer guy,
right?
Like, I've built computers. I know how to use Windows machines, especially. I'm not big into Mac, but I'm a Windows guy. But looking at this software, it's like, I know how to do it.
Right.
I can do it. It's just poorly designed and unintuitive.
Yep.
Like, people who aren't very computer savvy would have a nightmare of a time trying to use that thing. But that doesn't take away from the fact that it is awesome. Like, I'm still using it.
Oh, absolutely.
Actively.
It's on my board.
Right. Like, I love that pedal. And I think it's an awesome tool and an awesome value for the everyday church guitarist.
Yep.
But man, it's a tough software to set up.
Absolutely.
But if you once you find a sound you like, you really don't have to mess with it again, unless you want to change things, which I did for like 3 months straight. It was like I was always changing it. Now I couldn't tell you the last time I opened that software. So once you get it set up with something you like,
you can kind of set it and forget.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of work.
It takes a lot of work to get there.
Yeah.
Because then there's no live editing, so you can't just like turn it and have it do it. You have to change the setting, save that to the preset, switch tabs, reload the preset onto the thing, and then try it. And it's obnoxious.
You also made a video about another guitar pedal.
So this one I was less right, and more controversial. This is about the Line 6 HX Stomp, which is, a very versatile pedal that can do a lot of things. But I have felt like I've seen quite a lot of people that are just like using it for one function on their board. Apparently, as I've learned, that's not the majority of the people using the pedal. They'll just use it to run a delay effect or a reverb effect or a modulation effect. And that's like stupid because it's a $700 pedal and you're using it for one thing. And so I said that. And then I like broke down with prices. I'm like, these are things you can get that are cheaper than that and just as functional that will do that one thing. So so basically the point was people who use the Stomp for this one thing, for just one thing at a time, I don't understand. That's dumb. And so I made a video about that, right? And so I just called it, I don't understand the HX Stomp, because I didn't. And then come to find out, I'm wrong. People use it for a lot of things. With the effects loops in there, you can like put it in 2 different places in your effects chain. You can do all kinds of stuff. If you have that on your board, you can also pull it off, use it as a standalone acoustic rig with some delays and reverbs and compression for that. And so it's just a super versatile thing, but it is $700.
Yep.
And so a lot of people just don't need that. And I feel like this is something I could have said in the videos that I made too, was like, for just the average person, you see all of these people using an HX Stomp because it's very common in the worship world. You don't need it.
Yep.
You don't. I promise you don't need it. Like my delays and reverbs and modulation combined still cost less than an HX Stomp right now. And my amps actually, because you could do all 4. You could do delays, reverbs, modulation, and amps all on the HX Stomp
for $180.
You could. That's the thing. With the Tone X updates, man, you could get a Tone X1 and just put those in a preset and swap between the two. Like you can do that.
Yep.
But also, like, even if you want pedals that do more specified things, I still have all of those functions on my board.
Yep.
And guess what? Even combined, those things were not $700.
Yep.
Like the point of my channel is trying to get people the best gear they can get for church guitar without having to sell a kidney. Like,
yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at with that. I get it. The HX Stomp is way better and way more versatile than I gave it credit for. But yeah. And then there's the channel Hey Worship Leader, which I love. I've been watching him for couple years now, I think.
Great channel.
Yeah.
Great channel.
Actually, it's probably been a year now because that's when I was really getting into electric guitar gear and stuff. But love that channel. But he found my video and made a video telling me basically why I was wrong. I think his exact words were, he had some points. That's what he said in the video.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really funny. I'm like, yeah, okay. You know what? My bad. And now here we are. And but the channel's fun. It's been a minute since I made a video just because I traveled with holidays and we've had sickness going through my house. But yeah, so I honestly need to get on that. But yeah, go check out the channel. I'll have more stuff coming soon.
Absolutely. Big thanks to Luke for the upcoming episode that we have talking about the use of tracks.
Yes, sir.
As Luke also serves as one of our music directors. So be on the lookout for that episode. Definitely check out Everyday Church Guitarist. Send them some love. And keep on seeking, keep on singing. Let Sound Doctrine lead the way. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Later.